Right friends, welcome back to questions and answers for 18th week. The world's largest non-subsidized LED program is Ujala. You may ask, what is Ujala? That is the Unnat Jyoti by Affordable LEDs for All, and this is being implemented by Energy Efficiency Services Limited or EESL. EESL is the joint venture of public sector enterprises under the Ministry of Power, and so far more than 10 crore LED bulbs were distributed under Ujala. And if you want more about Ujala, please listen to 17th week lecture part. Supreme Court sets up Justice R.M. Lodha panel to oversee the functions of Medical Council of India, and Medical Council of India is the statutory body which regulates medical education and profession in India, and it was established in 1934 under MCI Act of 1933, and subsequently it was reconstituted under Indian Medical Council Act of 1956. And recently there were several allegations of MCI indulging in corrupt practices, and Supreme Court, using its extraordinary powers under Article 142, constituted committee comprising of Justice R.M. Lodha, former Chief Justice of India, and Vinod Rai, former Comptroller and Auditor General of India, along with Dr. S.K. Sareen, Director, Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences. So, for next 1 year, this committee will look into the working of Medical Council of India, right? And the other options I have given here, one is IRDAI, it regulates insurance sector in the country. SEBI, it regulates capital market in the country, and DGCA, it regulates airline sector in the country. Recently, we celebrated 25 years of completion of Windhoek Declaration. Windhoek Declaration basically pertains to independent and pluralistic African press. You may ask, where is Windhoek? Windhoek is the capital of Namibia in Africa, and UNESCO, the Paris-based organization, adopted this declaration on 3rd May 1991, and to commemorate that, we celebrate World Press Freedom Day on May 3 every year. And this year, World Press Freedom Day theme is access to information and fundamental freedoms. This is your right. So, if someone asks about May 3, that is World Press Freedom Day, and basically that is to commemorate the UNESCO Declaration of promoting an independent and pluralistic African press on May 3, 1991. Name the state government which launched Chandran Bima Yojana on 1st May. This was launched by Andhra Pradesh. Here, the insured worker, whoever meets accidental death or permanent disability, will get rupees 5 lakh, and it will cover almost 1.5 crore workers in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Union Cabinet approved currency swap agreement between India and United Arab Emirates, and the purpose of currency swap agreement is their respective currencies will be exchanged, because of which the bilateral trade will increase. So, because of a currency swap agreement, there is every possibility that bilateral trade will increase, right? And look into the next one, Niryat Shri and Niryat Bandhu Awards. These awards pertain to exports, and these awards are given by FYEO. You may ask, what is FYEO? FYEO is Federation of Indian Export Organizations, that is the joint venture of Ministry of Commerce and Industry along with the private trade and industry. So, this FYEO was jointly established in 1965. FYEO was established with the partnership of Government of India and private sector trade and industry associated with exports, and this Niryat Shri and Niryat Bandhu awards pertain to exports. And recent award is Reliance Industries Limited was given top foreign exchange earner and leading exporter. Tata Consultancy Services got gold award in IT sector, and gold award among the supporting institutions has gone to State Bank of India. And more than this, you should not forget FYEO, what is it, and Niryat Shri and Niryat Bandhu awards. Look into the next one. Name the country which gave in principle approval for establishment of LNG based power plant at a cost of $1.3 billion. LNG based power plant will come up in Bangladesh. 3000 megawatt LNG based power plant, out of which in the first phase 750 megawatt will be established, and Reliance Power, this is the Anil Dhirubhai Ambani group, will establish this power plant in Bangladesh. There is a lot of cooperation between India and Bangladesh in recent times. The relations between India and Nepal are not on the right track, but India and Bangladesh relations are in upswing subsequent to the signing of land boundary agreement. Vice Admiral Sunil Lanba will be the next Chief of Naval Staff, and he will be the 23rd Chief of Indian Navy. And if you look at the persons from India, he will be the 21st Indian to become the Navy Chief, and at present he is the Flag Officer Commanding in Chief of Western Naval Command, and he succeeds R.K. Dhawan, and he will have the full tenure of 3 years. Name the country which unveiled the bronze statue of Ash Chopra. Recently, Ash Chopra's bronze statue was unveiled at Switzerland. It was undertaken at Interlaken, and previously a train was also named after him, and he spent a lot of time in Switzerland. Look into the next question. Single emergency number 112 for all emergencies like police, fire, medical emergencies. One single emergency will be there. That will be 112, that will be made operational from January 1, 2017. And recently, Minister of Communications and IT stated that the date of introduction will be January 1, 2017, and subsequently within the next few months, all the numbers will be discarded. At present, we have several numbers like 100, 101, 108 like that, and 112 will replace all these numbers. Look into the next one. The first global digital elevation, that is a topographic model of a Mercury, was unveiled based on 1 lakh images taken by Messenger. Messenger was NASA's robotic spacecraft that orbited the planet Mercury. And Messenger, you may ask, what is the full form of Messenger? Messenger is Mercury Surface Space Environment Geochemistry and Ranging Mission, and this was the initiative of NASA, and now based on 1 lakh images taken by Messenger, the first global digital elevation or topographic model of Mercury was unveiled. Right? This is the initiative of NASA, please don't forget. Mrugank Paranjape took over as the MD and CEO of a multi-commodity exchange, and this is the country's largest commodity exchange, and he will have a tenure of 3 years, and these commodity exchanges will take care of futures trading. Futures trading will take place in bullion, not only bullion, ferrous and non-ferrous metals, energy and some agriculture commodities. And please don't forget, these future contracts are subjected to the regulation under FCRA 1952, right? And Mrugank Paranjape will be in this post for 3 years. Kalvari, Indian Navy's first indigenous Scorpion class of stealth submarine, began its sea trials off the coast of Mumbai. This submarine means this is nothing but a ship which moves underwater, and stealth submarine. What is the meaning of stealth? It cannot be detected. That is the beauty of a stealth submarine. And this class of submarines are being built by Mazagon Dock Limited in Mumbai, and these are being built in collaboration with the DCNS, and DCNS belongs to France. So, Scorpion class of stealth submarines are being built by Mazagon Dock Limited Mumbai in collaboration with the France-based DCNS. Name the country which decided to provide 3-year multiple entry visitor visa for Indians. The country we are talking about is Australia. And what is the meaning of this multiple entry visitor visa? You can go and come back any number of times. That means this visa allows the citizens to enter Australia multiple times on same visa, and each stay will be valid for 3 months. And in addition to India, it will be implemented for nationals of Thailand, Vietnam and Chile also. Former captain of Indian cricket team Anil Kumble has been reappointed as ICC Cricket Committee chairman. He was initially appointed in 2012 and his term ended in 2015, and another 3-year term he got, due to which he will continue till 2018. And at the same time, don't forget, International Cricket Council is headquartered in Dubai, and at the same time, Rahul Dravid was also appointed as the member of ICC Cricket Committee. United States of America activated the land-based missile defense station in Devaselu, and this is situated in Romania. And please look into this. This is Romania and Devaselu is situated here. What is the purpose of this land-based missile defense station? The purpose is to protect the member countries of NATO from short and medium range missiles, particularly from the Middle East. The situation in Middle East is not satisfactory at the present, and so as to protect the NATO countries. You may ask, what are the NATO countries? NATO countries are 28 countries, that is a military bloc primarily headed by United States of America, and this is headquartered in Brussels, Belgium, and this was established in 1949. Subsequently, Warsaw Pact countries were also established. They belongs to communist bloc, and the Warsaw Pact countries were dissolved in 1991 subsequent to the collapse of Soviet Union, but NATO still exists. NATO is the bloc, military bloc primarily headed by United States of America. So as to protect NATO countries, this land-based missile defense station was established in Devaselu in Romania. The multilateral red flag aerial combat exercises primarily between United States of America, NATO and its allied forces were recently held in Alaska, and these exercises are advanced aerial combat exercises. Combat means to fight in war, and India participated in 2008 and now participated for the second time. Look into the next one. The New Development Bank, that is NDB, plans to issue Panda bonds, and these Panda bonds are denominated in renminbi. Please don't forget, renminbi is the currency of China, and New Development Bank plans to issue about 3 to 5 billion renminbi in Chinese interbank bond market, and these Panda bonds are issued by non-Chinese investors in China, right? Look into the next one. Which of the following is not true about double taxation avoidance agreement? This assumed significance because India signed protocol with Mauritius recently, and I have listed 4 points. First one is, it is a tax treaty signed between 2 or more countries. Absolutely correct. Look at the second one. The prime objective is that taxpayers in these countries can avoid being taxed twice for the same income. The same income will be taxed only at one place based on a double taxation avoidance agreement. This is also correct. And the third one is, DTAA, double taxation avoidance agreement, applies in cases where a taxpayer resides in one country and earns income in other country. He is the resident of one country and he got his activities in another country. Under those circumstances, the income will be taxed only in one country. That is the meaning of DTAA. The fourth one is wrong. India has got a DTAA with around 80 countries, more than 80 countries, but not a dozen countries. When the window for granting licenses is open throughout the year, it is known as on-tap licensing. Existing non-banking financial companies that are controlled by residents and have a successful track record of at least 10 years are eligible to apply. So, NBFCs with successful track record of 10 years are eligible to apply. Second point, individuals or professionals who are residents and have 10 years of experience in banking and finance, they are also eligible to apply, and there are also other stipulations. Please go through this slide. Look into the next one, pick up the incorrect statement. I am talking about 4 types of bonds here. One is the samurai bonds. Samurai bonds are basically Japanese currency, that is yen-denominated bonds issued in Japan by a non-Japanese company. Please don't forget, these samurai bonds are Japanese currency yen-denominated bonds issued in Japan by a non-Japanese company and subject to Japanese regulations. Then panda bonds are Chinese currency renminbi denominated bonds issued in China by a non-Chinese issuer. Then dim sum bonds are also renminbi denominated bonds but issued outside China. This is the basic difference between panda bonds and dim sum bonds. And masala bonds are rupee denominated bonds issued by Indian firms in overseas markets. So the fourth sentence is wrong. Masala bonds are rupee denominated bonds issued by Indian firms in overseas markets. Right? When somebody talks about samurai bonds, they are yen-denominated bonds. If somebody talks about panda bonds and dim sum bonds, they are renminbi denominated bonds, but one issued in China and other one issued outside China. And masala bonds are rupee denominated bonds issued in overseas markets by Indian investors. Look into the next one. Sachin Tendulkar, Abhinav Bindra, Salman Khan. These were appointed as Goodwill Ambassadors for 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Initially, film star Salman Khan was appointed as Goodwill Ambassador, but there was a lot of criticism, and subsequently Sachin Tendulkar and Abhinav Bindra were added. All of you are familiar with Sachin Tendulkar, Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar, and Abhinav Bindra is Indian shooter, and he is world and Olympic champion who got gold medal in 10-meter air rifle event in 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. And if someone asks about Abhinav Bindra, he is the shooter. Please don't forget. Name the bank which surpassed ICICI Bank in market capitalization. What is meant by market capitalization? Market capitalization is basically number of shares into the share value. And if you look at the banking sector shares and its market capitalization, the highest market capitalization is held by HDFC Bank with the market capitalization of around 2.8 lakh crores of rupees, followed by State Bank of India with 1.4 lakh crores of rupees, Kotak 1.29 and ICICI Bank 1.28 lakh crores of rupees. So if someone talks about market capitalization of banks, HDFC stood first, and recently Kotak Mahindra Bank surpassed the market capitalization of ICICI Bank. India may soon purchase Triumph S-400 anti-aircraft missile system, and these will be purchased from Russia. Recently, Defense Acquisition Council already approved this proposal. You may ask, what is Defense Acquisition Council? Defense Acquisition Council is the policy making body for purchases headed by the Defense Minister, and the deal is valued at $6 billion. And Triumph S-400 is capable of tracking and destroying all existing aerial targets, and it can strike planes 400 kilometers away and also bring down missiles flying at 5 kilometers per second speed. Look into the next one. Name the company which is experimenting with the Wi-Fi to give last mile internet connectivity. Wi-Fi is the invention of Microsoft. Basically, Wi-Fi is unused television spectrum, and Microsoft is betting on Wi-Fi to give last mile connectivity. And at the same time, don't forget Google. Google is coming up with the balloons, and Facebook is coming up with the drones to give last mile connectivity of internet. So here the right option is Microsoft. Look into the last one, name the bank which launched M-Visa service recently, that is the State Bank of India. M-Visa is a cardless solution which facilitates payment by scanning the QR code displayed at the merchant outlet or from the merchant mobile. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.